Okay, everybody, this morning we're going to tackle a heavy one. I got my notes with me and had to write this stuff down. This one's going to be titled The 13 Deadly Signs Your Thai Lady is a Scammer. It's going to be at least in probably two halves. We'll see what I get through. I've got the first four written down. I have them all down in my little file, but I got the four with me here in a good order. In a good order, I think. So, yeah, so the first thing you're doing when you start a relationship, these days a lot of them start by text, or you'll be texting very quickly. And the first thing that you will notice, in fact, Thais do this all the time, if you start texting with a Thai who's not a scammer, actually, one of the things they will ask you to do right away is they will ask to live video chat with you, because that helps prove you're not a scammer. Some scammers, the simpler ones, work by text only. I mean, they will meet you eventually if it keeps going on and they keep getting money, but the scam will start text-based. There's different levels of how sophisticated your scammer can be. Sadly, the ones that I know, though good for you guys, bad for me, were very sophisticated and actual organized crime. But that's the worst kind. But through that, I learned a whole bunch, and we'll share that for free here. So good to be you. So texting only. So what you want to do as you're texting is so there's shades of gray of all this stuff, right? So when you just call phone and your telephone, live talk, chat, whatever, because you can always move the chat to a little window on the screen, and then you can then text, and then you're seeing them. And scammers don't like to be seen. Depending on the scam, then they'll go right along with you and hell, they'll marry you, and you'll move in with the family and they're all scamming you, and this has happened. And this is not infrequent. So you be careful. But again, this is just the first test, and it's a quickie, it's easy. And so you'll just notice a general tendency that they want to keep with the texting. They don't want to talk, they don't want to video, they don't want to meet as much. If someone's avoiding meeting you in any way, scammer. No girl that's interested in you will avoid meeting you. That makes no sense. They're a scammer. So be forewarned on all that. All right, that's a good one. And then here's another one. And this is going to sound a little obvious, but it's really ends up not being. A lot of guys get tripped up with this. No job. Girl with no job. A girl with no job, and yeah, I put this note here. For whatever it is, it's like certain stereotypes are kind of true a little bit. Scammers love the brand new latest iPhone. Or cell phone in general, but typically iPhone. So if your lady has no job, no visible means of support, changing hands here, pardon me, no visible means of support, and she's got a relatively recent, nice, like a Pro Max, like a high-end iPhone within the last model or two, and no job, yeah, that doesn't mean they're a scammer. It may just mean that they've got a wealthy family and they like electronics, because the Thais love electronics. They're electronic junkies as bad as Americans. Worse, relatively speaking, based on income. But it is a red flag that you're dealing with a scammer, because most Thais won't spend that amount of disproportionate money on a phone, particularly when they have no job. Now, the note that they have you think they have no job, their job is they're a scammer. Of course, that's the joke, and the joke's on you. So be careful. So so that's number two. That's dos. So let's see. I got my notes upside down. Pardon me. So then we've got, oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a really good one. I almost put this one first. Systematic attention, particularly systematic flowery text with pictures of a very grateful lady, pictures of vases of flowers, cartoons of flowers, literally flowery, with flowers all over the text, and then the language is just super sticky sweet flowery. And there's these little cartoon images or whatever or a GIF or whatever you call it of a grateful young lady who's obviously very pretty in the little drawing, and using all kinds. Just you can see that minutes were used in composing each little text to you. And every morning, at least 6 days a week, you're getting these lengthy, not necessarily lengthy, but fancy thinking of you, and then throughout the day thinking of you. And not that there aren't nice people in the world, but most people aren't that nice, and that's a red flag. If you're getting a regular series of texts all the time, and this is one of the things I really do believe, I'm really convinced that there is a scammer manual, and this will be in the manual, along with the phrase, "I need to see a photo of you every day." That phrase is consistent amongst multiple scammers I've known. So be wary of that phrase specifically. But that gives you a little insight into the thinking. That's kind of how they do it. So the systematized attention is what I'm going to, right? Yeah, that's what I call it, systematic attention. That's what I'm going to kind of boil these down. I'm going to put these right on the screen, and when these 4 are done here. And we're actually moving pretty quick, so maybe I'll get to a couple more. So that's that one. And then number 4, I got to laugh. This is a biggie. I can't say everyone, because you can never say everyone, but if your lady works in the massage industry, man, that's a red flag so big, there's no ship in the world that can contain it. I mean, that's just a giant red flag. That flag could cover the state of Texas. If they work in the massage industry, they're in Thailand. Here, massage really means something different. Even if they're at a clean place that's just doing massage, and I know some people like that are where I go. My friend's wife runs it, and even in a place that's clean like that, you can kind of tell. And some of them, I've asked them where they worked before, and where they worked, that's a different kind of massage. So, it's just the way it is. So the massage industry here is just, do you really want to, I mean, now if you want the skills, I was about to be judgmental, and I apologize. If you want the skills, and believe me, I really get that. Then that's okay. But know what you're getting, and know that then you got to watch your money super tight, which you kind of got to do here anyways. And you just got to be careful. But then you can get all kinds of awesome things if that's what you want, and you just got to be careful. All right. Okay. So that's number 4. So 1 through 4, to recap, we've got avoiding, just basically focused on text. They want to focus the relationship on text. That's 1. Fancy iPhone, no visible means of support. That's another red flag. Systematic attention, and particularly every morning, you'll get these really, you can just see that time and thought was put into this text, like it was a freaking project, because it was. It's not an organic, natural text you would get from a lady interested in you. It seems a little composed. And that's where they trip up. And they don't make very many mistakes. These people can be very good. And the people that I knew were very good and very systematic and organized. They had 3 brick and mortar locations. Think about it, still have. I take that back. They have 4 brick and mortar locations. And then massage. Massage, bar girl, escort, all that kind of stuff. Any industry that performs services, and massage does, I guarantee it. You just, they can be a scammer, and not that you, it's going to sound weird, not that you can't marry a scammer or date a scammer. You just got to know what you're getting. You got to know that you got to keep that tiger in a cage. It's going to come out and eat you. And I guess sometimes I think the guys that I keep thinking those 70-some-year-old guys, those smoking hot 25-year-olds in the back of their Harleys. I was kind of judgmental of them when I saw them in Jomtien Beach, but then it's like looking back, they're probably pretty smart. They know what they got. I'm sure they know what they got. I don't think they were being fooled by those young ladies. And, it's just a straight up pay for play, and you're done. You never have to worry about a thing, because they don't really care. And maybe they didn't really care either. They just want what they want, and that's it, I don't know. All right, let's see. Appropriately at the front of my school here where some of all this stuff started. So then the fifth one's going to be that willingness to go a long time without meeting, and it ties into the keeping everything text-based. But in addition to that, whether you video chat or not or anything else, they're just going to never really be in a hurry to be in person. Now, not that a scammer can't do a different kind of scam and be in person all the time. It's just a different kind of scam, but at least half of them, a big chunk of them, are not into personal meeting. Not until way later down the line, until they see it's a different kind of scam and they're kind of shifting gears on you. Right up in front in the beginning, there'll be this hesitancy and you'll think, oh no, later on, Rob, really, they overcame that. Yeah, they shifted scams on you. And they'll do that. I keep saying this, you cannot underestimate these people. There is a reason that 90% of all the guys I know here, their first girlfriend or two was a scammer. I mean, it's that common. It's that common. So you've got to think, gee, are they everywhere? Yeah, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Okay, 6, to cap this off, is going to be large, expensive gifts with tags. Now, the tags part seemed really odd to me at first, although in Thai culture, since they talk about how expensive the gift was so openly, leaving a tag on may not be quite so rude. That I'm not certain of. I'm going to try and double check that if I can and add that to this video. But whether or not a couple people I'm about to ask say one way or the other, I could still see somebody legitimately leaving tags on because it's money and love are so intertwined here and so overtly intertwined. I mean, they're intertwined in America. Who am I kidding? But they're so overtly intertwined. Here's the difference. But in my example, it was my birthday, and I just, whatever insecurity or stupidity I did, I mentioned it to the lady that was scamming me, who I thought was my best friend at the time. It was a best friend scam. It wasn't a sex scam. The sex came with somebody else later. But, God, that hurt. So I mention it, and she makes this big, and this, I say this example so you get the idea of kind of how they work. So she goes, oh, makes this big hand gestures. Oh, birthday. Oh no, we have to. And I'm like, no, and I didn't want anything because I know they're poor. Oh, no. And so she ends up going out, and my gifts came in this really fancy bag from a store, this really expensive store, the tags all over it. She gave me a pair of shorts and a shirt that were really expensive, even by American standards, expensive. I really felt guilty, and of course that's on purpose. And tags on everything, tags on both items. So she spent like 150 US, unless there was a sale and they weren't marked on the tags, which is maybe. And left that on there, and then there's some kind of tag on the bag. The whole thing was very flowery and fancy, just like those texts. This flowery, fancy, you get there's a theme here. And this is another thing I really believe is in the scammer manual. I know there's a manual to all this stuff because there's too many specific consistencies. And doing this big embarrassing gift, or these are big embarrassing gifts to make you feel indebted, that's definitely part of the scam, 100%. So that's what she did in my case. And it works. It works because you're getting this attention all the time. You know, someone sending you these thinking of you. Well, who doesn't want to have someone thinking of them all the time? Especially a nice lady who's, you know, setting you up with somebody you think is really cool. And here's another thing: they can be very clever. I mean, this person who is kind of the second in charge of the scamming organization, as far as I could tell, I met the big boss once, a morally despicable individual. She ran all the ladies at 3, maybe 4 locations, I'm not sure. And then it was a massage-based business. And then she was going to set me up with one of her nieces. And then she warns me, oh, but be careful because she'll try and get money from you. I'm like, wow, you know, how good-hearted is that? And eventually the niece said something, and then, oh yeah, no, don't give her any money. No, it's no good. And then later on was the real emergency they needed money for. And so this was a long-term scam, and this person had become a trusted friend. I let them become a trusted friend to me because she had said the truth to me so many times. And a lie is best sold between two truths, just like a sandwich, okay? And if you've seen that or you're aware of that or not, it's a great life lesson to know. And that's what the scammers do, and that's, I think, also in the manual. They give you truths, and they do real things, and then they slip the negative thing in there. And I'm telling you, these people are good. You got to really be careful. So that's the first 6 of the 13 deadly signs that your Thai lady is a scammer. Scary stuff.